Okay, welcome to Velocity with Freeman&Forrest. I'm thrilled to have Jim Walker here with us today. I think you are one of the most incredible humans, but also just a wealth of knowledge around product marketing. So thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm happy to be here. And oh my gosh, a wealth of knowledge. I don't know, but it's just years of working maybe,
A
perhaps.
collection of
Yeah,
knowledge.
exactly. A collection. That's right.
Fantastic. So how did you actually end up in product marketing? Was that something you sought out to do, or what was your path?
What a great first question,
Yeah.
Emily. So I coded professionally for 6 years. I was of the Commodore 64 generation, right?
Yeah.
So I coded when I was a kid. Actually, I started coding because my parents got a divorce and sent me to computer camp.
Really?
While they
That was their solution?
I know, yeah, exactly. Let's get rid of them for a weekend, whatever.
We got to sort stuff
So
out.
something good came out of it, I guess. But yeah, I coded, and I graduated computer engineering undergrad.
Amazing.
I worked for a consulting company, and I was coding in Smalltalk and C++. It was great. It was really wonderful. But I ended up being the person that they put in front of people to actually explain what was going on.
Oh.
And so I had this natural tendency to be able to take incredibly complex concepts that we were
Yes.
trying to sort out and demonstrate in code and explain that in a way that people were able to understand.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of always naturally gravitated to this. And then on the other side of it, I wasn't that great of a developer. I hated commenting, I hated unit tests. I just wanted to solve the problem. And
Yes.
so kind of between those two things, I landed on the other side. And, is it marketing? Is it product marketing? Is it translator? I don't know.
Jim,
Yeah.
do you think that all product marketers should have some background in professional software development?
It really depends on, what they're going to go out and peddle.
Yeah.
Forrest, it's I've lived in, layers of infrastructure that quite honestly, it takes a lot to actually understand and kind of discern and understand to actually extract the value from that. And so if you're going to be in those layers, you have to come from a technical background. I contend that you have to, but I mean, if it's,
Yeah.
some I don't know, if I'm marketing HubSpot, sure.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You bet. I think it's something that's a little bit more kind of,
Well, sure, but that's a tool for marketers, right? So
That's right.
presumably being a marketer would be an advantage in talking about it.
Yeah, I think you have to understand the
Yeah.
user.
So you think
Yeah.
you should have been your user to be the best version of yourself as a product marketer, maybe?
maybe you don't have to have been the user, but you kind of have to understand their plight. And I think that's the key thing. I mean, look, I've marketed security products. I've been deep in databases. I was, early days at CoreOS doing Kubernetes. Nobody understood that
No.
thing.
Yeah.
Good God. Back then it was 2016, 17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody-
So
yeah,
long
so-
ago, right?
And we're,
I know.
we're trying to explain that thing. Yeah, I understood exactly what was going on after a while, and it's that level of being able to dive into kind of how it all works and ask the right questions
Yes.
is really critical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that aha moment when you're just talking to someone, you're still trying to figure out the specific message or how to communicate something. And then you have one and it just they have this moment where they get it. You're like, oh, that was it.
Yeah, it's even better when you get a whole sales team to do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible because it's just this force multiplier. And to me, product marketer is the best friends of the sales team.
Yeah.
If they aren't bringing you into calls, you aren't doing your job right.
That's so interesting. Some people would disagree with that. I love that. I think supporting the sales team is a huge component
Yeah.
of it. But
I don't know how you could disagree.
yeah,
I want to meet this person.
there's many
I'm going
dozens.
for it. I want to debate. Yes.
That's fantastic.
We believe strongly that marketing has to be interesting. And interesting can be, there's all sorts of flavors around that, but memorable is one of these kind of components where you want people to think of you because, you're almost never going to catch someone in the moment that they're actually making a purchase decision. You have to be the thing that they think of when they have to go
Yeah.
make that purchase decision. You worked with CockroachDB.
Yeah.
Tell me about the name of that. That is
Yeah, right? Yeah. So by the way, the first part of that question, the layup of that is great because you have to incept.
Yeah.
The whole game is inception. A database is really difficult because it's not every day that somebody's going to pick up a new database and build
Yeah.
something. Or worse, the last thing they want to do is migrate.
Yeah.
That's an absolute nightmare. And so
Risky.
the name of CockroachDB, it was Cockroach Labs. And I think, I think somewhat along the line, we just kind of, I don't know, we just changed it to CockroachDB for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
Cockroach Labs was brilliant.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And so, Spencer Kimball, who's the CEO of that company, Spencer and Peter Mattis, actually, when they were in grad school at Berkeley, they created probably one of the most widely used open source projects in the history of this planet called GIMP.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and so those two started GIMP. And you know where
I
the name...
never knew that.
Yeah, you know where the name GIMP came from?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Twisted, dark.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like, whoa, talk about a character to use the name of a product after.
Yeah.
So GIMP is named, and that's Peter and Spencer. And so, living in New York City.
Yeah.
Building a database that you can't kill. That's gonna be resilient. It's gonna scale linearly.
Mm-hmm. Get into all the nooks and crannies.
That's right. The ubiquitous cockroach is all over New York. And so, Spencer came up with Cockroach Labs, and it was phenomenal name. People did not forget.
No.
They didn't forget it, but at the same time, I feel like you'd hear so many so-called marketing experts saying, "Oh, they're going to have to change that name at some point," but they never did. Why not?
So countless times I was asked, "Great product! Like this is amazing. When are you guys going to change the name?" And every analyst, sales calls, I can't bring this in. The procurement people are going to freak out. And it was
a funny response.
You're just wrong. It communicated exactly what the thing was. And it was memorable.
Yeah.
And that is a stroke of genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius. There's no way that would ever change.
No.
Even if if something happens to the company, I don't think that name dies. It's just too good. It's just way too good.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. But, it's funny. So I'll tell you one other story of Cockroach Labs. So my first week at Cockroach, our office was 5th and 19th or something like that, above the Zara. And I'm in there, and I'm staying at a hotel, and I'm like, okay, it's the end of the day. I don't really want to go back to the hotel and just sit there by myself.
Yeah.
And so the doorbell rings. I let the person up on the elevator, and they come and they're in the doorway, and it's the UPS guy. I'm like, oh, come on in, man. He's like, I'm not coming in there.
Oh gosh.
He's like, I'm like, come on. He's like, I'm not going in there. There's cockroaches in there. I'm like, no, dude, it's totally cool. Yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah, because if you just delivered mail to Cockroach Labs, I wouldn't go in there either.
Yeah, where'd my Cockroach Labs swag, and my family's like, what is going on?
So you seem way too proud of working at the Cockroach Lab.
Great name.
Oh.
It really
great
is.
name.
It really is. But that gets to the larger question, too, of how do you build a message around a name, right? A name is not a message.
Yeah, so, there's lots of ways in which you can actually build message and message platforms and all these things. I am one to gravitate towards structure so that people can actually understand these things. I worked for a guy by the name of Dave McJanet back, about 12 years ago. We were at Hortonworks. Dave went on to he was the VP of marketing at GitHub for a while.
Oh, wow.
And then he was CEO of HashiCorp and led Mitchell and Armin all the way through IPO, and just recently, finally left.
Incredible.
Dave is Mitchell and Armin are genius.
Yeah.
Dave's incredible. What an incredible leader. And
Awesome.
he forever changed me. He gave me a framework to think about message. And so I love the power of 3. Yeah. So I was thinking 3s, but it's kind of a 3x3 matrix. And you think about 3 points. The lowest layer of message is really the product layer, and it's kind of like the capabilities. What does the thing do?
Yeah.
Most people just focus there.
They do. They list the features.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you got to break it down into 3 big groups of what is the thing, resilience is part of Cockroach. Scale is part of Cockroach. Multi-region is part of Cockroach. We actually, consistency, resiliency, locality, and scale, CRLS, which is a really nice acronym for a possible IPO.
Yeah.
Every single salesperson at a company understood CRLS. Ask anybody who worked for Cockroach early days, CRLS was the thing. So I had 4.
Okay.
And then there's the value layer, which I think we all think about, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to discern sometimes because you kind of have to think what that is. But the third layer, which I think not many people really think about, is there is a company layer of message. And it's about who you are.
Yes. Your values.
That's right. And because people buy from people.
Yes.
And so if you can basically get across who you are as a company, what your personality is, and who they're buying from, and that's amenable and beautiful for people, oh man, you got them. Because it's also, again, kind of nice little thing. It's head, heart, and wallet. Mm-hmm. If you could hit people on head, heart, and wallet, or 2 of the 3, forget it. You're gonna close. And so I think understanding these layers and actually thinking through what they are, I think really helps people and helps a company really kind of shine.
That's fantastic.
I love that focus on values. I feel like that's something that seems to be fairly intuitive in the B2C marketing space, where you have to build that connection with an individual, but you so rarely hear B2B marketers talking about it.
What is a product but a person and a problem?
But I think
what is a problem? It's the same thing in B2C. It's a person and a problem. That's all that product equals person and a problem.
I love that.
It really is. Like product managers would be like, hey, we want to create this new thing. I'm like, well, is it a new person?
Yeah.
No. Is it a new
Cool.
problem? No.
Congratulations.
It's a feature.
Yes,
Congrats.
exactly. Oh, that is the best separation of that.
That's right.
Because
That's
I'll see companies release things as new products, and really, it's a feature of an existing product.
Oh, we're going to create a category. Is it a new problem, a new person? No.
That's such a good point.
It is not a new category. It is maybe a new way of doing something.
Yes.
But it's really not.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's so interesting.
I completely agree. And I think people do think about it. They just, they obfuscate it. So I think it's like when we talk about developer love or, capturing the hearts of developers, like that is what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
People do align with companies based on how they show up for the community in the industry.
Yeah, but dreaming about it is one thing, doing it's another thing. And that
Right.
gets to, like you mentioned, when people tell you we're trying to market to developers, you have a really interesting question that you ask them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, which developers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Which
about?
ones?
Ooh, that sounds great.
You're not a fan of this big umbrella category of
Yeah, well,
developer?
really? That's great. Sounds
I know.
wonderful. Developers never buy. Really?
No, I know. I mean, this was a problem we had at Google because
ones?
we called everybody a developer.
right.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
kind of technical practitioner was a developer,
right.
ops, whatever. But you would get way, way more granular than that, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I was just talking to a company the other day, and they're like, oh, we need a whole developer marketing thing. I'm like, your product isn't used by developers.
Just small note.
It's sysadmins, DevOps, and SREs. And if
Oh,
you want to think about a range,
interesting. Yes.
those are not they're not code. They code, but it's not the same.
It's
sort
not
of,
the same.
Right.
It's not in the same spirit.
Right. And so to me, that's totally different. But again, it's like, well, there's three groups, and you can think about the range between sysadmin to DevOps to SRE, and like, okay, well, there's different tone and different ways you
Yes.
communicate. I find the same thing in developers, and I don't think people have really kind of written this. I've talked about it to a lot of people, but I think of developers as kind of like, if you think about all the developers in the world, it's just this huge bell curve, right? And in the bell curve, if you look at the bottom, 10, 20%, it's like people who end up doing system test. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, they don't really think like developers. They think about the mechanics or the operations of the thing.
Yeah.
On the top end is a world of developers, as software engineers is what I call them.
Yeah.
And software engineers build the things that developers use.
Oh, that's
I
a
have been
good separation.
fortunate, exactly, right? So I've been so fortunate in my life to work with amazing engineers like
Yes.
the temporal guys, incredible engineers, building things that software developers use. The entire Cockroach team, the CoreOS team, Hadoop, and all those engineers. They build things that people use to build what they want to build. So great. Okay, so you got the top 20%, you got the bottom 20%. What's left?
60.
60%, thank you.
I got you.
So thank you. Not an engineer anymore. So you got to break that down. So now you have these kind of, I break that down into three groups,
Yeah.
and it's great. The top end, it's okay, there's a bunch of people who work at JPMC and Goldman
Yeah.
and Netflix and Facebook. And they're building kind of the core of these massive, huge applications. So that's that top 10% of that.
Yeah.
The bottom 10% is they're doing Java. They're working, at maybe a larger company, maybe.
Sure. A bank, an airline.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Something exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a huge middle, or no, I'm sorry, the middle is like that. And then the bottom is okay, I build things by cobbling together services in
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are three very different
Wait
developers.
for the best.
Very, very different. And getting the right tone and hitting them where they are is it's like anything. You can't just say developer. They're very different people.
It's so true, but people don't. I love that kind of name around software engineer versus developer. I've never really considered or tried to put words to that, but it is exactly it. That was the perfect.
That's right. That's right. And
encapsulation.
Okay, think about how you talk to a person at JPMC who's building their core banking system.
Yeah.
Who is in the top 30, 40% versus that software engineer.
Yeah.
What are you hitting with them that's totally different?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Right.
Because the mission is different.
That's right.
Their audience.
That's right.
Because you almost, I think especially in B2B, you're not just caring about the business you're selling to and the people there, you're caring about their customers.
Amen.
If I can be
Amen.
ridiculous, it's B2B to B, B2B
Kind
to
of,
C.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
And that's really ultimately what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it like a two-way merging between, people who are focused on solving a pure business problem and people who are focused on solving a pure technical problem, and they kind of meet in the middle?
Yeah,
around
yes,
that
kind
bell
of,
curve?
and it really comes down to at ultimately everything's a business value, Forrest, and it's how you communicate, and I think 50% and below, you can use words like robust all you want. I'm never going to use it because I'm sorry, but it's a meaningless weasel word. It means absolutely nothing.
Right.
It's actually a flag for me that you don't know enough
Dude,
about your product.
you know how much I hate
it's the worst.
I'm at a war on words, man.
Yes.
And robust is right. It's the number one. Anybody who's ever worked with me knows my disgust.
Robust.
I detest this word, yes.
Yeah.
It has no definition.
It has, no, it's good
filler.
for chocolate and coffee.
Yeah. Yes. You're right.
It's not for software. Like, what do you mean? Like, software engineers going to laugh you out of the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Oaky
like,
aftertaste.
What does it mean?
if I'm going to ingest this service and I'm going to use it to do a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's complete, I guess.
Do you think people are afraid to just commit to what their product actually does? Because I find people dance around the actual value add. They want to kind of make it, or sort of put this cloth on top of everything and make it somehow seem fancier or whatever. They don't get to the real meat of what something is.
Well, yes, and I think there's really, I think about that in two ways. Either A, they don't know what it is,
Yeah.
in which case they're putting like this weird
Yes.
blanket on top of it because they're like, I guess this is what the other marketer person said.
Yeah.
Or they don't understand it well enough, and they just don't know what they're talking about.
No. Yeah. And it comes through.
That's right. And so the more genuine you can be, the more
Yeah.
authentic you can be. And this comes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning, Forrest. Like, do you need to know what you're actually selling to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. With that higher end of the bell curve, you bet. You absolutely have to. They'll laugh you right out of the room.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Or
I
fake it at least.
Yeah,
No,
oh, yeah.
totally. I think a lot of product marketers that I know would kind of glaze over and tense up at what they've just heard you describing about the level at which you have to understand the audience. They'd be like, well, I need to get a developer expert in here to help me with that. Shouldn't you be that person
You
as a
should.
product marketer, right?
Yeah, and quite interviewed a lot of salespeople in my life, and I kind of expect that out of salespeople too.
Yes.
Who's the best salespeople you know? Well, either they are like, I love
Yeah.
them so much that I just want to buy from them. There's plenty of them out there. And
Yes.
I love those people. Actually, there's very few. Or they kind of get it. Like the best salesperson I've ever known.
Oh, yeah.
Was a guy at Cockroach, a guy by the name of Steven, that he was a sales engineer for
Yeah.
years. He was like, what am I doing? Like, this is silly. Why don't I make the money? He's
Yes.
Incredible.
I also feel like those folks are the ones who are saying, hey, the product is great for X, Y, and Z. It's not for ABC.
Right.
This is going to be perfect for you. Or, hey, I don't think this is actually a good
That's
fit
right.
for you.
Yeah, it's totally right. So-
And when you show up with that level of authenticity and truthfulness, people trust you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so be authentic in
Be
all the ways.
authentic.
Jim, you have a catchphrase, words are important.
Yeah.
Well, not words like robust, clearly,
No.
but like different words.
Yeah,
are
but the
important.
words are important, and that's
Yeah.
that's a really
Yeah, yeah.
good example of like drives me absolutely up a wall. Anybody who like knows me, they know my disgust, right, of certain words. Like the word enterprise drives me absolutely
Yeah.
up a wall. It's shallow. There's no depth to it. You kind of have to explain, well, what do you mean enterprise?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's all the ilities. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Let me get into those things, But it's in the way people like describe things. I was working on another company the other day, and they were talking about, they had this feature they were talking about, we're going to implement this smart policy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that sounds great.
Yeah. What is it?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Even if it is a smart, intelligent policy that
Yeah.
does all these great things, what you've just done is you've dissed the person that has the stupid policy.
Oh, yeah. That's so interesting.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That was always my problem with some things like, what was it? Like modern ops always really bothered me because I'm like, was everything else dinosaur
Yeah,
ops?
well, it's
Kinda.
like you're
This is-
you're creating ways for people internally to lose if they
Yeah.
adopt this product, right?
Right.
Which is not the opposite of what you want to do.
Or think less of themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what else is a flag for me or drives me crazy? When people utilize an existing company who is not them, in their messaging. So it's like, we're the Uber for blah, blah, blah. We're the AWS for blah, blah, blah. I find it lazy and I don't like it.
It's lazy.
It is lazy.
It's exactly what it is. It's
Yeah.
like if you can't describe what you are,
Yeah. What's your differentiator?
What are you
Who's
doing?
your user? Yeah.
you don't know what you do.
So when you're thinking about messaging, when I'm kind of defining what my audience is and really narrowing it down, I have a primary and typically an ancillary audience. Is that kind of how you think about it? And you message specifically just to that primary audience? Or are there situations where you actually need multiple pieces of messaging for multiple audiences?
So yeah, absolutely. So first of all, what's with the gerund?
Sure.
Why isn't it just message? Why
It's true.
Why is oh man, this is
We
another
love
war,
an ing.
another war on words. It's added syllable. I don't need it anyway. So yes, I think about this a lot. And again, this is another thing that any sales team who has ever worked with me in
Yeah.
my life, they're very well aware of what I call the sphere of influence.
Yeah.
And the sphere of influence is not just one secondary message. You look at there's a buyer in the middle.
Yeah.
It could be a champion. You never know. It could be
Yeah.
two separate personas, what it is. especially in B2B because it's a complex buying process. There's a whole world of people around that.
Yes.
And there's spheres. Spheres?
Yeah.
Spheres. And there's like, the immediate person might be this, the SRE who has to run the damn thing you want to buy.
Yeah.
And so they're very important. So you have to have the message for all of the layers. Like the third layer might be the CTO, might be the center, who knows?
Yeah.
Might be an analyst, might be a community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so thinking about all of the people who could influence this ultimate buyer / champion, I just think of it as a sphere. And there's there's multiple different layers of that. Multiple different layers because, listen, you can build message for one, but like building it for all of the people that are around, it takes time and people.
Yeah.
Especially in a startup, you don't always have that. So you kind of just got to identify those that are most important.
Yeah, and target those folks. When you're talking to companies, either when you've worked there or consulted with them, do you get pushback from leaders who just aren't either familiar with marketing or feel like maybe this is too risky? Like, how do you kind of handle that feedback or resistance?
It's the plight of the marketer in tech. There's a lot of bad. There's a lot of like, I guess, sub-good marketing or product marketing out there, and so I think it just comes with they trust you when you show it.
Yeah.
I also think it's a shame that marketing and product marketing are put together in one group. Like, I just don't I think of product marketing as like it fills the holes in the company. You get in where you fit in. Like, if you got a really strong product team, well, you don't have to do pricing. You don't have to like get deep into message of like a feature. You have a team doing that.
Yeah.
But if you don't have strong product managers, you end up doing that.
Yeah.
Right? Is pricing a marketing function or is it a product function?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like there was I forget who did this thing. It was like I forget the name of the company. They had this like box thing of like, okay, all the things that have to be done to bring a product to market.
Yes.
And you get like, strategic versus tactical, and there's like groups of things. And you just flip the boxes in terms of who's doing what between product marketing and product.
Yes.
It'll tell you really clearly where it fits. And I think the shame of product marketers is they do not become strategic enough to drive the business.
Yes.
They answer to the business, and they sit there as this function of marketing and leads and all this other stuff when you're so much more strategic. Like it's
not just a helper function or a nice to have.
God,
it's
no.
core.
Right, exactly.
But if you do find yourself on a team where you sense that that's where the business has collapsed you into, how do you save yourself and your team?
Know your product. Know your audience.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, it's like it comes back to the message stack. You know, what's right and what's wrong. And even if people disagree with you, show them or be humble enough to change it.
Yeah.
Number one, but get it right.
Yeah.
I think you're right that sales is not going to complain about you helping them close
That's
deals, right? So
That's
they're not going
right.
to complain
Yeah,
about
I
you
mean,
getting closer to them.
There's not a salesperson that I've worked for. There's a couple salespeople that I've worked with that probably don't like me, but it's okay.
That's fine.
My job is to help them make money.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all I do. Either I'm out like getting a campaign right, so there's pipeline, or I'm out teaching them how to like talk about a thing that's like super deep that they didn't understand, and maybe the concept underneath the concept that I'm training on. Doesn't matter. It's how do I help them get authentic in front of a customer, and my job is to help them make money. That's it. That's all you do.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
That's great.
like how do you measure product marketing success? Revenue.
I was just going to ask, like, what are the pieces of data that you find to be best when conveying value, either internally to your own leadership or to customers?
Yeah. Like I said, if you don't think of yourself as part of the revenue function and that's not what you're driving, you're done. Because companies do one of two things. You do one of two things in a company. If you're in the middle, good luck. You build things or you sell things.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all there is. It's really as simple as that, guys. Like, so if you aren't selling, you aren't in the calls, you aren't like driving the thing and making it happen, pipeline all the way through. Like the funnel is not like something that goes to MQL and then there's a sales thing to a product marketer. It's like there is a consistent tissue from like crazy broad awareness all the way through to the add-on sell and the renew.
Yes. But it's amazing to me how unsophisticated most companies are in understanding their actual funnel. Like I would say this is one of the bigger weaknesses I see when talking to customers. They just cannot put it all together. They'll have like 2 or 3 pieces, but they don't actually have a visualization. Like I'm not talking about dashboards, but they don't have any kind of way of measuring across their customer
And it's just
journey.
anecdotal in between the different teams, right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like
It's not.
this whole thing is not new. We've been doing it for thousands of years. It's called Why Try Buy.
Yes. Always
Pretty much
buy.
it. It's always been. And
Yeah.
so like how granular you're getting those things really is up to you. Problem is I think sometimes founders or sometimes, certain leads in companies will be like, oh, we got to talk about this feature and this thing.
They get hung up on it.
It's part of the why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I can't give this thing away for free. That's part of the try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like sometimes you just need to help people see the light.
Yes. I was always frustrated with making folks, like when they really dig into specific features and they cannot let go of how special something is like technically implemented. They get very precious about it. And it's hard to like both honor their, like, yes, your engineering capability is amazing. And does the company care that our product is perfectly made in that way? Sometimes, maybe. Like maybe for the software engineers, like the dev tools, like that might matter. But if it's adding business value to a bank and it works, do they actually care about that particular element of it? I don't think so.
Never let perfect get in the way, I guess.
Oh,
Is that a whole thing? But it's also like, when I've dealt with many founders who are like unbelievably brilliant.
Yeah.
They want to do a thing in a certain way, and that's great. But let me show you how the market is this,
Yes.
and the buyers are this. So it's I always talk about jujitsu because that's what you're doing. You're just basically trying to use people's weight to get them to where you need to go.
Yes.
So yes, and
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
don't fight them. Just use it to your advantage.
Yes.
I remember a few years ago when I was at Google dealing with an open source tool that one of our teams had rolled out, and it was getting very poor reaction in the community with folks feeling that it was just another attempt to solve a problem that had been tried and failed to solve many times using a tried and true bad method of solving it, right? And I had written a little bit about this and tried to engage with the community to help them, like they were right? And I ended up having a chat with the product team that had built the feature internally at Google, and they wanted me to explain to them why the community was upset. So I talked them through like, okay, well, they remember that when this was tried in 1991 and it was called Corba, it didn't really work for businesses internally, and the community is very concerned that your very similar looking approach is not going to work here in 2022 or whatever it was. And I will never forget a developer just kind of staring me down for like 30 seconds of silence. He was like, so you're saying there's no technical problem with the product?
Oh, they're just hung up on that.
Yeah.
And then just walked away.
That's not how people want to consume these things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Corba was an interesting idea.
Yes.
Didn't really work in the end.
No, it didn't. But it was one of those things that you kind of had to try
Right,
to
yeah,
see, right?
exactly.
It's just not how,
Yeah, look at the market will tell them, too.
Yes.
I also think product marketing can tell them. Like if it takes too many words to explain a product, then the product is not focused enough in that way.
What was the function called? Product marketing?
Yeah. Yeah.
The product marketer can tell you what the market is talking about. It's half of what we do.
It's so true.
Yes, it's very true.
Yeah.
And if you don't have your finger on the pulse of what's right and wrong,
Yeah.
forget it. I've been very fortunate to work with some amazing companies and some amazing teams. And it really comes down to three things when I choose. It's people, product, market, or people, product, motion. You could kind of like that in and like look at it's like the product is critical. And I'm like I said,
Yes.
I'm fortunate to understand like what these things are. I'm also very fortunate to work with some amazing sales teams to understand how things get sold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, and then ultimately it comes back to great people.
Yes.
Because I don't want to work with a bunch of balloon knots or anything.
Well, great people like you, Jim. Thank you so much for being on the podcast with us.
Jeez.
Wonderful to have you
shucks.
here.
It really was. I'm so glad you could join.
Well, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah,
We really appreciate you.
you bet.
Thank you for joining another episode of Velocity. I'm Emily Freeman with my co-founder, Forrest Brazil. We'd like to thank our producers, Britton Noel and Tyler Freeman, for making this an incredible experience. We love it when you engage with our content, so please do like and share. It really helps. And let us know if you'd like to hear about a specific topic. Thanks so much.